Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series. I am Jason, and we have ourselves a B West match tonight. Knights of the Round versus Roll1 Esports. We've got both teams ready to go, and we are going to jump straight into the draft. And that is going to be played out here in game number 1. Towers of Doom is going to be the map choice here. And it's official. I think it is indeed this program that keeps resetting my mic volume. Apologize for the volume problems there. But we are getting into the draft here. Let me quickly go over these map bans for you guys. Roll1 Esports winning the toss, banning Infernal Shrines. Dragonshire banned out by Knights of the Round. Towers of Doom, the first map pick here for Roll1. And Brax's Holdout, then picked up by Knights of the Round for game number 2. So the memes are out in force tonight. Let me just make sure my stream is rolling up here. For some reason it didn't look like it set for me. There it is. Okay, we're good. We good, fam. Knights of the Round banning out the Garrosh, which is always a or the Garrosh, I should say the Diablo. It's always a solid first ban, especially on towers where it's good to be able to have a hard engage style tank up front, and he definitely fits the bill for that. We'll see what the first pick is going to be. They may want to look to grab themselves a tank, but instead are going to get Greymane very early here. Knights of the Round with an interesting pickup. Worth noting the Chromie ban, of course, on the side of Roll1 Esports, so not wanting to see the ranged poke and interrupt potential for that. So meanwhile, the first 2 picks here for Roll1 Esports, they are going to go with that Garrosh. So we've seen some pretty solid Garrosh play coming out from Roll1 Esports. They like to run this displacement and blow up comp, and it's very strong on this map in particular, where you're constantly forced to rotate in and contest on these points. So I really like the strategy coming out from Roll1 here early, and Knights of the Round are going to have to find themselves some kind of counter to this hard engage that can be able to help save any member that gets tossed by Garrosh and focused, because you can bet Roll1 Esports is going to pick up a lot of CC follow-up with it. Meanwhile, Sonya and Stukov going to be the pickup there. So Stukov, with of course that lurking arm or massive shove, can be pretty good disengaged. Sonya, of course, also doesn't mind at all being tossed into the back line, but is just about as susceptible to blow up as any other hero if she is chain CC'd out of that. Though, of course, Wrath of the Berserker does allow you a little bit of an opportunity to at least reduce those stun durations and try and survive while you're in there. Stukov, of course, also some good burst healing potential to be able to try and keep people alive. ETC going to be the ban out here for Roll1 Esports. So ETC with that face melt, one of the well-known and well-used counters to the Garrosh combo. That face melt able to knock Garrosh back as he's looking for a big flip and a combo. And right away, we got a couple of fans out here tonight already. Home of Poe saying, let's go Roll1, let's go. And broiled beef out here for the Knights. So both sides already amassing their fans into chat. Welcome everybody for coming in and enjoying this NGS matchup with me tonight. It's a pretty important match in the landscape here for the B West point standings. Of course, Knights of the Round struggling a little bit above that 8th place line, so even just 1 or 2 games could really help secure a slightly better position in the playoffs for them, a little bit better seeding. Meanwhile, Roll1 Esports currently 2nd place, but they are just leaving me in the dust for this draft. So Rhaegar banned out with that healer chokehold attempt, and it's going to leave Roll1 with a final support pick here at the end. Could be possibly Uther or Ariel. Was not on my list of things I thought it would be, but very interesting. We got Vala and Malthael picked up. You don't see a whole lot of Vala nowadays, but it is good follow-up potential for the Garrosh combo. But other than the possibility of that level 10 Rain of Vengeance, there really isn't a whole lot of CC. Jaina does offer some slows, and Ariel, if angled correctly, can get a good detainment strike, but that's about it. Meanwhile, Kalthazad for Knights of the Round. They're looking for a lot of burst potential of their own, along with the Johanna on the front line, who of course can really be the hero you want to be tossed and can survive that exchange. So right now, both teams coming out with some very interesting pickups, some very interesting and unique comps. You don't see a whole lot of Vala, as I've said, in the meta, but I suppose Kalthazad also a pretty rare and not too often seen hero in the game at the moment. But either way, we are loading in. These teams getting it going nice and early for everybody tonight. Once again, I want to welcome everybody on into the stream, and let's get these teams introduced. On the left, it is going to be Knights of the Round. We're going to have that Mr. Matt playing the Johanna. Brave Sir Robin's going to be on the Greymane. Lurderman Law is going to be on the Kalthazad. Shaylin is going to be on the Sonya. And finally, we're going to have Sir Lancelot on the Stukov. Meanwhile, on the right, your number 2 B West Division team, Roll 1 Esports. We've got Velvet on the Vala. Rock Your W going to be on the Garrosh. We're going to have Big Beard on the Jaina. Toph's going to be playing the Ariel. And we're going to have Zad on the Malthael. So right away, both teams rotating into the mid. Full 5-man commitment as the wave clear abilities start coming out. Rock Your World does get the nice cue there. I'm going to, by the way, put up these these talents for you guys. We will see a couple of quest talents coming out here early. Interesting that we got Fetid Touch here for Stukov. So we're going to be looking at him trying to get those weighted pustule stacks up early. Kalthazad, of course, looking for stacks. Jaina looking for globes. Garrosh looking for the groundbreaker stacks to be able to increase the effectiveness of that talent or ability more and more throughout the game. And right away, heavy rotation, and Lurder gets tossed in. The groundbreaker follow-up off the toss, and that's going to be a quick first blood coming out for Roll 1 Esports. And this is something you are going to see constantly from Roll 1 Esports throughout this matchup. They find anybody, even just a little bit out of position. Rock Your World is going to do exactly what his name would suggest. He's going to put you out of position, and he is going to take you down in short order. But right away, they're going to go ahead and try and get the advantage in the camp game, but Brave Sir Robin going it alone on the Wolf there. Johanna's got to be careful here. Iron Skin's been popped. That Mr. Matt does get tossed, but actually the Groundbreaker not quite finding its mark. The Detainment Strike comes out, but that Mr. Matt still able to sneak in around. Meanwhile, counter engage, and Brave Sir Robin, along with Lurder, gonna get their revenge there as they get a kill of their own here. First kill on the board now for Knights of the Round. So this match already getting a little bit scrappy between these two teams. One thing I do like about BOS, you can always find a team that's able to take down any other team in the division. Really, I truly believe top to bottom, any team can take a game off of any other team in this division at any time. And Knights of the Round, just because they're a little bit lower in the standings right now, I don't think that gives that big of an advantage to Roll 1 Esports in anything other than Psyche. These teams have been incredibly well balanced. These divisions, I should say, very evenly matched matches throughout the season. And right now, Knights of the Round sticking right in the first 5 levels of the game with the number 2 in the standings right now. Roll 1. We're going to see Velvet getting a little bit low here. Hoffs is going to throw down the heel. 3-man commitment into the bottom lane here from Roll 1 Esports, but the 4-man in bot is going to have the advantage to the side of Knights of the Round. Both teams going to go ahead and trade out their respective altars in the top lane. Malthael is stacking up a nice wave in the top, but Sonya is going to be there to counter it. Meanwhile, Lurder gets tossed in and is in all kinds of trouble here. Is able to walk away, though. for the moment, but it's actually Johanna that ends up falling, and now Big Beard with the flank going in deep, and just like that, Velvet gonna put his sights on the Lurder. He's gonna go down. Lancelot goes down. Everybody falling over on the side of Knights of the Round. A nice patient play here from Roll One Esports. They do a very nice job, and now Brave Sir Robin gonna get caught out as well. They play the long game there. They've got the sustain, and as soon as they see a member out of place, Rock Your World comes in, takes him out. I'm assuming it's Rock Your World. I'm assuming he just, especially with the Roll One Esports in the name there, probably doesn't have enough room for World left, so it's, apologize if it was meant to be Rock Your W, but I'm gonna go with Rock Your World for now. Meanwhile, we do see Roll One Esports quickly rotating. Both teams actually with pretty quick rotations to their camps here. But now it's a little bit more than a level lead for Roll One. They get a nice win there, get the advantage in the kill counters. That, meanwhile, giving Shaylin all he can handle up here in this top lane. Malthael versus Sonya, definitely an interesting matchup up there that we'll want to keep our eye on. The changes to Sonya, I think, have weakened her ability to bully in the early game in the solo lane, but we'll have to see. Meanwhile, right now, Zad doing a nice job with this level 1 talent on a pale horse. Quickly able to rotate from mid to top. Meanwhile, the 4-man push is the strat coming out here from Roll One Esports. It's becoming a pretty common strategy in Heroes of the Storm, and on this map in particular, the double soak lane. Somebody that's good at rotating like Malthael is. But meanwhile, toss there onto Johanna. Not exactly the target you want, but sometimes the only target that's available. And they do get quite a bit of damage down onto that Mr. Matt. But this time they're going to find Sir Lancelot. That's a much higher priority target, and he's going to end up being taken out here. But have they gone too far? Velvet getting tossed out there by Rock Your World. Nice into the fray there to be able to help reposition. But meanwhile, the root does come down onto tops, but a huge ring coming in response there. And just like that, the turnaround is good. Big Beard throwing down the damage, getting the kills. Murder's got to be careful. He's going to back out. And just like that, this should be another double cap here for Roll One Esports. They are going to start amassing a nice lead on the core shots. They also have level 10. So we do see Rain of Vengeance is indeed the pick, looking for that CC follow-up to the Garrosh tosses, along with Crystal Aegis, Ring of Frost, Warlord's Challenge, and the Last Rites. Looking to get those kills. Still a full level until Knights of the Round have their level 10s. They were looking to see if they could catch anybody out here. But for right now, it looks like they're going to back out. Rock Your World and Big Beard can probably get these picks pretty much on their own. Meanwhile, nice combo coming in. We've got to remember that the comp from the side of Knights of the Round, really more of a late game comp. You look at... Oh, meanwhile, the combo coming out onto Velvet is gonna bait out the Crystal Aegis, but now it looks like Sir Lancelot's in a little bit too far. Ring is going to come out, only catching one, but that's just because Stukov is already dead. Groundbreaker does come out onto Kel'Thuzad. It's Garrosh not quite able to get to him. But as I was trying to say there, this is a late game comp for Knights of the Round. Kel'Thuzad is going to slowly scale better and better. Does have his stacks completed already. Of course, Greymane will also stack up better and better with that Wizened Duelist. So, assuming that Knights of the Round can make it to a reasonable late game point in this matchup, they really should be a little bit stronger than we see them now in terms of the matchup against Roll One Esports. But the question is, how far behind Rock? Well, no, I'm not saying that. It's alright, we do see the combo and a huge amount of damage. Lurder taking out 2 members of Roll One Esports just like that, turning it around. They're going to get themselves 4 shots, and they are going in deep here, trying to get the kill onto Velvet.
Bring down the Gravekeeper's call.
And Rocky or whatever, looking for the counter, but not quite finding anything. Still is going to be an 8-point lead, but that really is something that Knights of the Round needed there. Gets a huge combo from the Kel'Thuzad. Get a couple of picks to be able to catch up. Only about a level behind right now in terms of the shots. Oh, with the pick coming out here onto Sonya down in the bot lane. It's going to be a nice pick for row 1. They're going to send that minion wave on into the fort, and they're going to cut off the rotation. I love this. Not going to let Johanna rotate to it for free. Instead, going to really make him pay for it. The Iron Skin has already been popped, and wow, still tried to make that rotate. Oh, but Murder on the back end has found Zad. Braves a Robin, dives in, gets the kill. Didn't even need to go for the throw, but hasn't gone too far. Eyes in the dark, gonna keep him safe for a second there, but huge groundbreaker coming in. And that is gonna be another pick. Velvet cleaning house there. 2 more kills going for row 1 Esports. The side of Knights of the Round did, however, get the kill onto Malthael. So we'll see what kind of advantage this really is. The members of row 1 are definitely posturing very, very aggressively here. This is a 4v4 until Malthael arrives, but the ring is going to come out and catches Sonya and Kel'Thuzad. 2 really high priority targets getting caught in that ring. Sir Lancelot is completely cut off from the team, not going to be able to do any kind of supporting from that range. Meanwhile, there is a lot of zoning potential here. Garrosh getting poked very, very low. Velvet trying to zone from the bot end, but again, Sir Lancelot not really in position to heal anybody, unfortunately. That's going to be another 2 picks and another 2 altars going over to row 1 Esports, and that is going to really start to put Knights of the Round on the back foot in this matchup. They are now 2 full levels behind. There's going to be a short window here where they are on the same talent tier, but that window is not going to last very long and is not going to be occurring during any sort of significant map objectives here. This is just going back to the laning phase. Row 1 Esports have plenty of time to get 16 before the next altar spawn. We don't even know where these next altars are yet. Very soon the indicators will pop up and let us know. Is this actually the... I think this is actually the second triple coming in here. So yeah, it is indeed the second set of triple altars. So this is going to be nicely timed for row 1 Esports. They're going to have 16. There's no way that Knights of the Round are going to have 16 in time for this. And Sonya actually falling in the top lane to Zad once again. Murder is here. Gets the combo onto Zad. But now the big question is, can he get out? And I think the answer is a resounding no. But still worth. He gets the pick on Sonya up here. They're going to get the top tower, and meanwhile the other 4 members getting the bot tower.
I have opened a tunnel near our core,
and now they can rush mid. Mid is open. And you can see they're clearing the wave. Trying to get some minions in on it. The Knights of the Round really needing to get back one of these bell towers. But actually, I like this call. They're just going to go directly for boss. No reason to get too overly risky. They didn't have any sort of wave worth fighting into there. Another 4 shots. And just like that, win condition number 1 has arisen here for row 1 Esports. If they get all 3 of these, the game is over. That Mr. Matt getting tossed in. Groundbreaker to follow up. A lot of damage, but the Iron Skin is popped. Kel'Thuzad capping in the bot lane. The dive in onto Velvet there with that leap from Sonya, but Sonya's going to end up paying big time here. And meanwhile, that Mr. Matt also going to fall in response. So for now, oh, actually, I take it back. This is still win condition. They only need the 2. You know, caster math. Caster math is historically bad. So we will see Velvet stalled one more time by that weighted pustule. I think Velvet is going to have it. Wait, another long distance weighted pustule. Sir Lancelot Oh man, stalling it for a while, but wait, he got it again. Is this gonna be enough time for them to get back the bell tower or get back into this? I don't think so. There it is. So 6 shots going over the core, and that is going to be it. Game number 1, going pretty decisively over to Roll 1 Esports. I would say they 30 to nothing on the core count. I would say that's pretty darn strong. And they just came out swinging in this one. Hyper carry Vala style with that Ariel. But this day and age, you don't really run it with double support anymore. But Velvet just putting out all kinds of damage in that game. Carrying so hard. Supplying so much hope for Ariel to be able to heal the team with. Keep him sustained. Zad doing a great job on the double soak. And I'm pretty sure Roll 1 just played that one exactly as they drew it up. Very, very well executed game. Knights in the round, though, not giving up anytime soon. And this game number 2 is going to be on their map of choice, which is going to be Braxis Holdout. So I'm going to get that lobby set up for you guys as soon as I can make it. Get the teams on in here. Good to go. The brave Sir Robin. Where are you? There you are. Maybe when they have 3 bans in the first ban phase, you can try to block out Rock Your World. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Home. He's definitely an incredibly strong tank in general right now in the BOS division. There are a couple of very scary tanks in this division. No doubt about it. But he is right at the top of that list. Yeah, the stall was definitely pretty funny. I was pretty entertained by that. But that's all it really was the stall. But yeah, I mean, you know, again, a team that's already played against Roll 1, their Garrosh play is not fun to play against. It's rough. They've got very good follow-up, very good instincts for CC and damage follow-up to those tosses. And we saw it there. Rock Your World doing a great job of zoning them out. All right, let's make sure we get the right... All right, looks like we got everybody correct here. Velvet probably wants the band hat. Make sure both teams are ready, but we got everybody in lobby, so should be real soon here. I think this is the only B West match tonight. And again, is a pretty important one right now. Knights of the Round are sitting about 7 points in front of 9th place right now, Reborn Knights Red. It, of course, doesn't reflect that on the standings because one of Reborn Knights Red's wins hasn't been counted yet. That's what it actually is in reality. But either way, we are going into game number 2. On we go. Braxis Holdout. So, pretty unique map in Heroes of the Storm. The only one that even comes close to resembling Braxis is Dragonshire with the double cap points. However, Braxis is a little bit different, being a 2-lane map. Typically, the solo lane is super important when you come to Braxis. If your team is able to constantly dominate and own that top beacon, it can be a real detriment towards your strategy. And Roll 1 coming out with the Chromie ban once again, just saying no thank you to the Chromie. And especially on this map, we did play on the 2 maps where Chromie is probably the most annoying tonight, which is Towers and Braxis. So not surprised to see the double Chromie ban, especially if you scouted Knights of the Round and you know that they like it, and the full-on respect ban coming in from Knights of the Round. So you gotta wonder if this is an instant Diablo pickup or if Roll One Esports has something else in mind. Rock is no fun, confirmed. I mean, playing against him, not very fun, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's kind of rough. At least it's not release Garrosh. That's true. So yeah, Diablo is going to be picked up here for Row 1. So we're going to see some more, I'm sure some more excellent Rock plays. Now we get to see how his Diablo compares to that Garrosh.
Hilneus will rise again.
Meanwhile, Greymane going to be picked up once again for Knights of the Round. I do feel like Greymane is falling out of the meta just a little bit, but still always an all-around powerful hero. Gives you a lot on your team, even if it's not quite as big in the team fighting as it used to be. And Stukov going to be the pickup once again, so Stukov, of course, very good on this map with the silence and the zoning control. Very good sustained healer as well. Be very difficult to deal with. He did get that nerf to one good spread, so we'll have to see if that is indeed the talent the Knights of the Round go with once again. Meanwhile, Jaina and Sonya coming out from Roll 1, so more of the same in the solo lane and in the mage damage. Begs the question, are we just going to see them repeat their comp from last game, which would be the Vala and Ariel at the bottom part of the draft? The fact that they're not prioritizing a meta healer like a Rhaegar or like a Malfurion does kind of suggest that they want one of the off meta healers like like an Ariel, but we'll see. I do feel like they use that to great success in the last game, and this is not a bad map for Vala. She's got pretty good wave clear, great sustain damage, which is what you really want on Braxis. And even though she's fallen out of the meta a little bit, I feel like at this level of the game, you could still get away with heroes like that if you're good enough at them. You know, you can just kind of make up for the fact that they have some kind of deficiency that's making it so they're not really doing perfectly. Also want to apologize, actually. The ticker is not updated. I'm going to leave it up here so you can guys see what the matches of the week are, but they are not updated yet on the website, so the ticker is not updated yet, but that updated soon. And so it does look like Ariel and Vala is going to be the pickup here, so Roll One Esports showing to Knights of the Round that they feel very confident with what they've done. The only adjustment being to compensate for that Garrosh. I mean, that Garrosh being banned, I should say. And so they're going to let Knights of the Round make the adjustments. They're going to force them to try to counter what they're doing over on the side of Roll One Esports, and they're saying, hey, you know, if you guys can beat us still, then that's fine. You know, go ahead. But I really like that strategy overall. It's going to force Knights of the Round to maybe play something they're not quite as comfortable with in trying to counter Roll One Esports if they do make the adjustments. And if they don't make the adjustments too much, then, you know, you can expect that we'll see more of the same from last game. So they are going to go back to the Kel'Thuzad. I don't feel like that was a weak point at all for Knights of the Round. The Kel'Thuzad play was really solid. Paired with the Gul'dan, so you have a lot of wave clear over on the side of Knights of the Round. A lot of CC potential. Good sustained damage overall from the Gul'dan and the Greymane. It does beg the question who the solo laner is. It's probably Greymane, which is not terrible, but it's not great into Sonya. By the way, Broiled Beef, thank you very much for the follow. I don't remember if that played, so we'll just go ahead and play it again. Just in case we missed it, but thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream, and thank you everybody for hopping on with us tonight. Hope you guys are enjoying the matchup. We got game number 2 coming at you. And I do believe I'm casting another match tomorrow night. Bring that up so I'm ready for that at the end.
Facility powering up.
We're about to begin.
Yeah, we got Knights of the Round again, but this time against First Pick Nova tomorrow night at 8:30. So, be a good match. But we are heading into our current match. This all changed over. Head on in. Game number 2 on the left. Knights of the Round. That Mr. Matt going to be on the Anubarak. Sir Lancelot on the Stukov. Shaylin on Gul'dan. Lurderman Laws on the Kel'Thuzad. And Brave Sir Robin on the Greymane. On the right, Roll One Esports, we've got Toffs on the Ariel, Big Beard going to be on the Jaina, Velvet on the Vala, Rock Your W on the Diablo, and Zad is going to be on the Sonya. So right away, both teams respecting the 4-1 rotations. If anything, I feel like Knights of the Round are the ones that are going to be a little bit at a bit of a disadvantage in the top lane is what I'm trying to say. There we go. Spit it out, Jay. So we're going to have somebody rotate up occasionally, I think, to help out with the Sonya, but we'll see exactly whether or not they really want to commit to that. If they feel like they're winning down here in the bot lane pretty significantly, you don't really have to own the top lane, but typically the bottom lane goes back and forth pretty often.
Beacons are energizing. You have to control them.
Oh, and a huge chain coming out there from Lurder. Able to find that. Not able to find the root and response, but early, he's already got 3 stacks. That's really all that Lurder is looking for here. Gul'dan also on the corruption stacks here. We do see the chain coming out once again. And a ton of damage to follow as well. So right now the members of Knights of the Round with this double mage style definitely putting out the damage. And Velvet right now kind of struggling to be able to put the damage in response. So this is definitely going to be a point that is owned here early for Knights of the Round. And the question just comes down to how much can they look to counter over on the side of Roll One Esports to try and own it. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Zad does look like he's getting the better of the push in the top, but Brave Sir Robin very healthy here, so we'll see if he's able to hold that point. It does look like could have Robin trying to push the issue up here if he indeed wanted to. Chain does connect there onto Big Beard, but wisely walking away from his team members, not going to let that chain spread to anybody. And right now, the members of Roll One Esports looking pretty healthy. However, Big Beard does not have any mana here. Gonna get very low. The burrow charge in. The stuns and the silence also down onto Rock Your W. Goes down to about 200 health from the poison. Gonna have to walk away. So just as they start getting healthy and having that hope available, just try to sustain through a team fight, then we have Jaina not having the mana to be able to really contribute. So right now, the members of Roll One Esports struggling a little bit to really be able to contest down here. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Zad playing this very patient. Brave Sir Robin not pushing the issue, not wanting to go in directly against that Sonya. And just as I say that, they do end up fighting a little bit here. The charge in, and Brave Sir Robin takes him out, but has almost no health left. You'd love to see him get down onto that point, but you gotta figure members are rotating here. But actually, they see all 4 down here, so Robin could go grab that point. And actually, just as I say that, we are gonna see them starting to back off. So Robin's actually gonna take that win, go for the Hearth. I like that call, not getting greedy. You know, maybe could have rotated to grab the point and then Hearthed on the point to at least get a little bit of charge. But other than that, you know, overall, doing a nice job of not taking more than what he's what the opportunity, what he's given there. So goes back, gets full health, so he's not at a disadvantage as these solo laners renew their fights. Meanwhile, both teams rotating to grab their siege camps. Definitely grabbed a little bit quicker by Roll One Esports, but Roll One doesn't really know that members are missing. It will start to rotate in and poke and prod a bit. That Mr. Matt does get overpowered there and charged in turret range, but the burrow charge out is good. But for now, 0 charge from both of these teams. Meanwhile, Lurder up to 16, so a little bit beyond halfway. I believe that is 30 that he's looking for. Yep. Get that extra spell power. But at this point, he's gotten the extra cooldown there. Lowered cooldown, so we're going to start ramping up more and more. Top lane with solo laners just kind of staying on their own sides a little bit, not pushing the issue too much. Bot lane, Roll One Esports not pushing in just yet, but the camp is going to put a little bit of pressure on Knights of the Round to split their focus, but all 4 members still focused down here. However, Roll One does get on the point long enough to cap it. Big Beard getting poked down low, though, having to back up. Huge corruption coming out. The root also going to come down onto Tops. Tops does have a pretty big heal available, does drop that to get Diablo back up for at least some health. Meanwhile, a little bit of a whiff there on the chain. Oh, and Sukov gets taken down. Rock your W. Charging in, getting the last hit. That Mr. Matt gonna have to burrow charge out. And finally, Roll One Esports has broken through this defensive wall of mage damage. Or maybe it's an offensive wall of mage damage. I don't know. You get what I mean. Rock Your World charging all the way in past the wall. And that might be a little bit too ham. He is going to end up going down. Velvet also getting pretty low. Going to have to back up here. Once again, Glacial Spike Chain not quite finding the mark. However, at the end of the day, Knights of the Round do end up giving the full 100 Zerg charge. And here come the Zerg marching into the bot lane. Bot front wall has already been opened up a little bit. The wall is down, and one of the turrets is down as well. And there's a lot of siege damage potential here from Roll One between the Vala and the Jaina. However, Vala and Diablo not here yet. Velvet and Rock Your W coming back in now. Nice stun, though, from that Mr. Matt, trying to give his mages a little bit of room here to operate, get the wave clear going. They have killed most of the Zerg wave, only the Guardians left in here for Roll One Esports. Meanwhile, both solo laners just sticking to the top lane. About a half-level lead here from Roll One Esports, and that's pretty much all from that front wall, I would expect. Front wall damage. Those 2 turrets. That actually getting a little bit low here, having to back up. The level 10s are going to come in pretty much at the same time. Roll One Esports are going to have them for just a few seconds longer. A wave or 2 at the most. Camp is taken here in the top lane for Roll One, so Brave Sir Robin going to have a little extra to deal with. Or Zad actually might be coming down here to try and force something. Has not picked that heroic talent yet. Oh, here comes the combo. The 2-man ring, the APOC. Zad leaping in just to make sure. But Big Beard had it covered. And just like that, the Wombo comes out and Roll One Esports takes full advantage of Knights of the Round staying in a little bit too far. We're looking at these heroics. Pretty standard across the board. Leap is the choice, of course, here for Zad. The Rain of Vengeance once again coming out. On the other side, go for the throat is the choice over the Cursed Bullet. Everything else, super standard. Big Beard selecting the big Ring of Frost there instead of the Water Elemental, which has been a little bit of a contested heroic for Jaina players. I don't know about you guys, but I'm all about the ring. I like the rings. If I like it, I'll put a ring on it. That's the bottom line. Meanwhile, over on the side of Knights of the Round, they are looking to try to catch up here. They've got their 10s. They're going to get a little bit of pressure here in the top lane from the camp, but in comes the rotation from Roll One Esports. They're going to be looking to clear that up in short order. Meanwhile, 4 members in the bottom going to look to clear the mirrored camp on the bottom end of Roll One Esports. And brave Sir Robin is being pretty brave, rolling around here, scouting a bit.
Take control of those beacons.
Multiple members of Roll One Esports not showing, but now 4 of them will show in lane, and both teams will just grab their respective beacon points. And we'll look to siege, so we'll start to see the siege race coming out. Double mage down here does give them a lot of siege potential. Nubarak also able to contribute to the waves that would stoke up the damage, but Vala and Jaina and Sonya, strong wave clear in general. So that's a trade overall that I would say does favor Roll One Esports a little bit. Basically what it does is it gives both teams a little boost in XP, which is an advantage for Roll One Esports when they are ahead. Gets them closer to that 13 talent tier, where Knights of the Round is still a full level away, but both teams will go ahead and rotate through the map, passing like 2 ships in the night, and we'll trade the beacon points, allowing 2% of the Zerg wave going over to the Knights of the Round. But hey, that's 2% more than they got the last time. So that's gaining dividends so far. That Mr. Matt anchoring in the bush. Now, Roll One Esports playing this pretty smart. They don't want to fight unless they find somebody really out of position. Dad's going to go in on to the Fire Bats and take them out up here in the top. They're so close to that 13. Again, if they find somebody out, but they could be willing to fight, but nice dodge there. Velvet and Zad just sprinting in opposite directions there to avoid that chain. And there is a 13, and now Roll One Esports should be looking to engage half a level. And there it is, the APOC, the charge in, the dive onto the back line. Kel'Thuzad blows up. Gul'dan falling on the back, and that Mr. Matt is in trouble. Even with the Ariel with full healing potential there, being web-wrapped, not enough. Roll One Esports picks up the 13, gets themselves a big team fight win, and just like that, they're going to be able to pick up the beacon as well. So that was definitely a fight the Knights of the Round should have looked to avoid. They could have rotated out, given up a little bit of the charge as they rotated as 5 to bot to capture the beacon and stop the charge, get the soak in the bot lane to get 13. But they take an ill-advised fight there, and that is going to be Roll One Esports taking charge of this next Zerg wave. Couple extra Zerglings coming in this time, but not much for Knights of the Round. Here comes the massive Zerg wave in the top lane. And after that trade in fort value here, we're going to see going directly onto the keep front wall. That Mr. Matt getting poked down low. The Aegis comes out to save Big Beard from that combo here from Lurder. Nice, solid Aegis. The best Aegises are the ones that save you from damage when you're at high health, not when you're about to die anyway. So Toph's really playing to the strength of that hero, but a huge Horrify comes out, and Vala is going to end up falling. And now the engage is coming in. Zad having to leap out, but it's Kel'Thuzad that falls to the Jaina damage. Big Beard, though, is still in trouble. The double stun coming out. Brave Sir Robin goes in, gets to go for the throat kill. And Rock Your World going to end up falling as well. This is going to be a reset onto his stacks. Of course, is not something you want when you're a Diablo. He will come right back in, so he's going to have some time to be able to try and accumulate some of these souls, but not really the opportunity for a while. All these lanes are pushed out really far, so for a little while, Rock Your World's going to be a little more squishy than he's used to. And as they start the boss, this is where they want to be able to engage. APOC is available. Only Shadowfish are available on the other side. Shaylin taking a ton of damage, but the combo is going to come out. It's going to take out Diablo for the full duration this time, but the boss is chewing up the members of Knights of the Round. Shaylin falls. Anubarak is going to end up going down here. Zad getting very low. Can Lurder turn around and get the kill? Zad decides he doesn't really want to test it. Velvet getting low, but the members of Roll 1 doing a nice job of passing the focus of that boss around. It's a nice steal for Roll 1 Esports. They'll trade a Diablo for the boss on this map. Aggressive move from Knights of the Round. I'm not going to say that it was ill-advised, though. I do think that that was a fight that they wanted and that they could have taken. They just didn't have the execution that time around. They really needed to either fight on the boss point or back away. They could not afford to push forward into Roll 1 Esports and have the boss ripping them apart on the back end. That's, you know, forcing yourself, being caught between a rock and a hard place. But speaking of being between a rock and a hard place, down goes Kel'Thuzad. Rock Your World comes back in a big way. Meanwhile, boss is ripping apart this top keep. Members of Roll 1 Esports are here to contribute to that. Combo does come down onto Velvet once again, but this time it's not quite enough damage. Top's doing a nice job getting him healed up. And for now, the boss will march past and start shooting at the core. Members of Knights of the Round do have the clear to be able to take care of this, though. The beacons are activating, but they do have a window here to get level 16. All the members are up. So if Knights of the Round can go ahead and soak their level 16, get themselves that talent here, they could try to take a fight here against Roll 1 Esports and try and take one of these beacon points. They also could just rotate and grab the top here. It looks like that's what they're going to do. They do now have level 16, but double camp pushing in the bot. It looks like Roll 1 is going to go ahead and push that in. Just looking up on stream at the delay and that boss fight is what's playing right now. That is rough. And while the members of Knights of the Round going ahead and backing up here, looking to get the clear onto this double camp. Roll 1 Esports going to back out of here. They put a decent amount of pressure now onto this keep. They're going to go ahead and send Diablo to the top lane. Go ahead and pick this back up. Knights of the Round need to find themselves an opportunity to fight. We're going to cap the bot to stall this, which I like. I like this call. Kel'Thuzad, though, splitting off, so he's going to clear the bot lane. This is an opportunity for them to round and try to get an aggressive engage. You gotta wonder, though, if that's really their game. You look at their comp, double mage, they're kind of looking more for the opportunity to pick and poke and prod until you're ready to really turn and burn with that Diablo. I mean, against the Diablo, I should say, with the Anubarak and the Greymane. But right now, the web wrap does come down onto Ariel. Gonna be broken pretty quickly, though. The APOC comes out and is huge, hitting 3 members. We're gonna have the ring coming in and also gonna catch Stukov. Shaylin low. Zad getting the kill on the back end. 3-0. Lurder's on the wrong end of this team fight, trying to take down Zad, but Zad spinning to get the healing. That Mr. Matt is gonna end up falling. And that is gonna be, I think, all she wrote for this matchup. The members of Roll 1 Esports going to go ahead and take the keep, but I think they can just bypass this and go straight to core, barring some kind of big, well, I was about to say some kind of legendary comeback there for Lurder, but he's going to end up falling, and that is going to be a 2-0 domination coming in from Roll 1 Esports, and that is going to get them a nice boost in the standings. This was definitely a matchup that they wanted to win to set themselves up for a solid window, get to that second place seed, maybe even first place seed. I think this actually does, yeah, it does put them tied now with Team Showboat for first place in the division, and just like that, both teams 7-2-1 right now. Of course, still a few matches for both of these teams to play. Well, let's see if we can get Velvet or one of the members of Roll One Esports in here for an interview. Let's see, I think we got Velvet on here. Yeah. Hello. I'm joined by team captain for Roll One Esports, Velvet. How you guys
Hi.
feeling after that big win?
It was really fun. We feel really good. We did some different things today, and we were happy they worked. So
Yeah, so definitely looking at some of the comps. Well, the comp that you guys ran, basically the same for both matchups. Vala coming in is something we don't see a whole lot in the meta. Kind of an old school Arya Vala combo for that hope generator. Is that something that you guys have been working on? Think is still viable in the meta, or is it more just like a comfort thing for you guys?
I guess the recent patch came out, and I although pros don't say it, I personally see Ariel and say to myself, she's really strong right now. She's top tier support. So we figured, let's try enabling the Ariel, and let's grab some batteries. So it wasn't necessarily Vala was the only option. We had other ideas, but yeah, Vala's good. So
seems like pretty much any sustained damage dealer would do, but the constant damage from Vala, a lot of kills and damage in the first game, but still a ton of damage output in the second game. So very well done. I wanted to talk about your tank selection. So, of course, the dreaded Garrosh came out in game number 1. You guys get Respect banned and go to Diablo, which is what they banned out in game number 2. Tell me a little bit about the tank play and what the W stands for.
The W is world. Rock your world.
Called it.
Right.
Called it.
He changed it. It was too long with the team's abbreviation in the front of it, so he changed it to W. The Diablo pick, he felt strong about it on the map, so I let him pick it. I mean, most of the draft is very give and take from my players, and then I just kind of give like a that'll work, and then we go from there. I usually come in with an idea in mind. We have like of course we don't just win with Diablo. We practice ETC, we practice all the tanks basically. But Diablo is still, of course, everyone knows, one of the best tanks in the game. So until next week, we'll see how that rework goes. Yeah,
you never quite know until you see it played a lot. But backing up a little bit from the game and looking at the overall now season as we head into the last week coming up, you guys have one more match on the schedule against Subject to Change, another one of the top 4 teams right now in B West. How are you guys feeling about that matchup, and how are you guys feeling about your position heading into the playoffs?
Honestly, we're just happy to be going into playoffs. We were excited to see that the division is so competitive. Even though our record shows that we're ahead, I actually feel like every team we've played against has had a chance to beat us in every game. It's not been... There's been stomps, but there's always moments in those stomps where you feel like if this team just does this one thing, they win, kind of thing. Or maybe they had an off day, and then the next game you can see, like, from them playing each other, I can watch their play and say, I know these teams can beat us on a good day. So, going into playoffs, we're excited. We're happy to be at the top end of the seeding, but like I said, playoffs, it's going to just shake things up, and any team could probably win. Up against Subject to Change, I'm just excited to see how they play. They're really solid, and I think we're more just looking to have competitive games, and we're excited to play a team that could probably take us, like dominate us, if they have a good day. So
Awesome. Again, somebody that plays in this division, I agree. It's so competitive, and the playoffs, number 1 versus number 8 seed. I feel like going into that match, it's not a given, and that's so exciting to have such even competition here in NGS. So,
Yeah.
But with that, I want to give you an opportunity to make some shout outs if you got anything in particular you want to shout out. So the floor is yours.
My usual shout outs to the guys in Fogey League who helped cheer us on. Special shout outs to Crosby for coming in and giving us some little coaching advice. That's been helpful. Poe as a sideline, he used to be a player of ours, but he's had a busy work schedule, so he's sitting out for the season. Hoping to play with him again in the season soon. And then a best special shout out to our subs, Mango and Waniba, who are always really they're always willing to jump in and play when we're missing a player or when we just want to have some fun. So, and of course to my team.
And you can't forget the team.
Oh yeah, and those guys.
Yeah, those guys. Those other guys. So
those guys they carry me every day. So
there you go. All right, well, thanks so much for coming out and doing the interview. Congrats on the win, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys next week, and certainly in the playoffs.
Awesome, yeah, I'm looking forward to. Are you guys are in playoffs, right? I don't even know.
Yeah, we'll be in the playoffs for sure. We'll be
awesome,
right up there with you in one of those top seeds, I'm sure. Well, I think we're third right now, so we're just right behind you guys. But
perfect. Maybe you'll overtake us next week.
I mean, subject to change is going to have to help us out, so we'll see.
All right. I know who you're cheering for.
Is it a conflict for me to cast? Whatever.
Right. I mean, I don't really care.
Yeah, no, I don't think anybody does. But yeah, thanks again for coming out, and we'll see you. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for casting.
Have a good night.
You too.
All right. Well, that is going to do it for me tonight, guys. I think we just had the final 2 games finish out, so we do have Bahamut, I think, still conducting an interview over on his, so I'm going to go ahead and send it over to him. And want to thank everybody for coming out. NGS, as always, for putting these on, putting so much work in to getting these matchups ready to go for us. And especially the work that, a little free thank you for all the work that's going to come into playoffs. Don't forget, we got a meat haul coming up Sunday night, so I want to shout that out. Sunday night, 6 p.m. PST on the Nexus Gaming Series channel. You guys will want to watch out for that to see what's coming up in the Nexus Gaming Series soon. Also, tomorrow night, I am back here with another B West Division match. Another match for Knights of the Round, in fact, as they are going to be going up against First Pick Nova, and that has huge playoff implications at the bottom bracket seeds, as these teams are currently 7th and 8th, as Reborn Knights Red are nipping at their heels, trying to get up to see if they can steal one of those points. So it's going to be a big matchup for both of these teams, try and get a higher seed or try and just stay in the playoffs in general. So come back, join me tomorrow night, and until then, I am Jay Zahn. This has been the Nexus Gaming Series, and we'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.